Leave you laid out on the
Bomb Squad!
Yeah, what's good, everyone? We back. I had to step away, man, and handle some business right quick. So I'm going to briefly do an overlay of what I covered already. First, I want to start off with, some of the sentiments that Paulie Malignaggi said on Pro Box TV. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much said, you talk about the Jared Anderson Bakole fight. That fight was about Jared Anderson. It ended up being a freebie for Martin Bakole. Said Paulie, talking about Jared Anderson lost to Martin Bakole on Turkey Alley Sheik card, August 3rd. We can tell, looking at it in hindsight, that it wasn't about Bakole because nobody brought Bakole back. I feel like he's been treated unfairly. He should have been brought back. That was sort of a freebie for Jared Anderson and turned into a freebie for Bakole. And now he's being punished for it. I feel that Bakole should be brought back. If you're going to do this, there needs to be a standard set. There's a lot of positives. I wouldn't say it's criticism. I'll say it's constructive criticism in some ways because there's so much to praise about what's been going on there in Riyadh, said Malignaggi. It does seem as if Bakole has been punished for beating the A-side fighter Jared Anderson. However, Matchroom and Queensberry don't promote Bakole. Two of the promotional companies that Turkey Alley Sheik uses as his source for fighters to fill his Riyadh season card. If Bakole were promoted by one of those companies, he might have been brought back for the December 21st card. At the same time, there's things that can be done better. And you want to see this sport and the fighters grow? Some of that is to know when to compensate highly and when not to overcompensate highly, said Malignaggi. The recent December 21st card was loaded with limited fighters that fans outside of the UK had never heard of before and hopefully would never hear about again. So briefly, I'm just going to put this out there. And it's not something that I look to debate or anything. Bakole did what he needed to do. But people talk about the business of boxing. This is a perfect example of that. Bakole went in there and somehow messed up the a la carte, right? But he really did mess up what he was supposed to do, his expectations. If they would have told Bakole he was going in there to move around and would have provided him with some predetermined instruction, aka the orders, then maybe we wouldn't have this conversation. He would have went in there and laid down for Anderson. But guess what? The benefits of him doing something like that and taking the first loss to basically be a rung in Jared Anderson's career, I don't think Bakole was willing to hold up that ladder. Real talk. I do not feel that Bakole was willing to hold up that ladder for Jared Anderson to take another notch in his professional career towards a title shot. Now, am I going to lose sleep over Bakole not returning? I'm not. I really want to see him. Like, say for instance what I mentioned previously. I heard that Bakole Zhang was pretty much slated. It was in talks. There was a little bit of chatter going here and there, right? But it didn't play out. I heard Bakole was outpricing himself. Now, do I have the inside? No, I don't. But, I heard it from two different people that he was pretty much, increasing his ticket based off that Jared Anderson win. Do I have extreme criticism for him doing that? No. Because if I praise Teofimo Lopez for doing it against Lomachenko, I have to keep the same mentality. I have to keep the same code. You know what I'm saying? I have to be fair, so to speak. If I praise Lomachenko for negotiating his worth, Teofimo for negotiating his worth with Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time in your career, you have to do it. You have to increase the bar, especially if you was in a fight the magnitude of Bakole Anderson. And not only did Bakole win, but he stopped him. Bakole stopped the man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. He stopped him. Shout out to Big Bunsen Boxing in the building. Sticking Boys Fishing and Sports back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Blunt say, not sure what Paulie meant by Bakole is being punished. Bakole got an IBF eliminator versus Jabba to determine the mandatory for the Bois. Let me put that up there. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the boxing info up there. So there you go. There you go. You know, if Bakole is in a boxing eliminator, right, against F.A. Jagba, and the winner faces Daniel Dubois, that's in my opinion, that's a plus. In my opinion, that's a absolutely benefit to him going in there and doing what he was supposed to do. Now, Paulie, I don't know which side Paulie looking at it from. I don't know if he's a semi low key advocate for Bakole or whatever the case may be, but this right here is absolutely a shining moment to look forward to on the horizon. Him going in there fighting another, at one point in time, touted up and coming contender in F.A. Jagba before he took his loss. You know, I mean, both Bakole and Jagba is somewhat in similar pole positions when you look at it. It used to be a Jagba. Bakole hasn't took a loss, but yet at least he gets to go in there with a reputable name like a Jagba, and the winner get a shot at the IBF. Cool. I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I like it. But gonna stop Canelo in the building. What's good? What's good? I highly doubt if Bakole overpriced himself. Hey, it's gonna be some doubt, especially if, you know, we don't hear it coming from certain people. But I was told from two different sources. Now what I'm not committing to is to say that it's FACTZ. I'm not saying it's facts. All I'm saying is I was told that it had to deal with money. And a lot of time, in some cases, boxing deals with money. Why wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? We hear all the time how fights are falling out. So-and-so overpriced themselves. We hear about it all the freaking time. But we'll see as the time tick by. I like this though. You know what I'm saying? I like the Bakole Jagba. Just going off what Bug Unstop Canelo said, we've seen FA on the deck already. I mean, he's probably improved. You know, when he moved from top rank. You know what I'm saying? Hey, FA, I'm pretty sure he's been working hard. Changed up his trainers. He's been working hard. I'm pretty sure FA's been working hard. That's gonna be a great fight, in my opinion. On paper, it looks to be that way. Now, just to skid over what I said earlier about this guy with his eyes closed, you know, him and the boxing guards have a very, very personal relationship. I swear to God. One thing that I haven't had to care about is to speak on another man's money. You know, the only time I ever spoke on another man's money on here was when that particular man said his wife made more than me. And I just couldn't gather, where did that come from? Why would a grown human being bring their wife into a grown man's convo? And then I thought to myself, there's a lot of beta niggas out here that'll do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Bring their girl in and put them on target practice. But look at it this way. I don't feel no type of way about if Josh was able to continue to make millions. Man, he is the perfect actor. I mean, to be in a position where you're loved even on the front end of a knockout. Come on, bro. Isn't that the type of, come on, bro. Think about that in the chat. So shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, bro. Think about that, fellas. Ladies. If you are in a full contact sport and you one of the top tier names at one time, unified champion twice, and you go through your adversities and you're nowhere close, subjected to the level of ridicule that has been placed on other names, such as a Wilder. I mean, it must be a beautiful, the feeling must be euphoric. I swear to God, to be able to lose and quit the way you do, and you still have people kissing your ass. I mean, just to have that persona where you're getting flatlined by Dubois, who would never be an Anthony Joshua. Not so much what he's accomplished in the sport, but his bravado. Anthony Joshua has grown into the it factor. You know, his machismo, overall charisma. Joshua has that even in the time of loss. The testament of a man is not where he stands in comfort and convenience, but in that of challenge and controversy. And Joshua, one thing I can say about him, when he goes down in defeat, he knows his fans are going to kiss his ass. He knows whenever a Wilder debate comes up, all they want to do is use retreaded toilet paper to wipe their ass. Josh and Wilder, he didn't want to take the $120 million deal where he had Dominique Brazil and Joshua twice. He didn't want to sign up. But yet you got Canelo over here, 300 plus million for 11 fights. He goes to court to have himself released from it. It wasn't anything that would have been locked in. Plus, Joshua fans know they didn't want Wilder on there. But anyway, staying on topic. Eddie Hearns, like I said earlier, attempted to push this heavyweight unification bout for undisputed when Joshua was undefeated and when Fury was undefeated. He attempted to do this in the midst of Deontay Wilder's first loss, February 2020, heading into 2021. Rumor mill was circulating that Hearns was out here, and he did put it out there, that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury will be happening in Wembley for the heavyweight undisputed title. And that shit was floating around here, yo, like dust. It was all in the air like dust particles, bro. Like an old wool blanket. You pop that shit in the sunlight, you say, God damn. Is that healthy to have around? Like, God, what is that shit, bro? How many allergens are in that shit? Eddie Hearns had that shit deep in the media. That shit populated like wildfire. And then it came out that Deontay had won his arbitration and he was going to face Fury for a third time. So the fight between him and Fury never materialized. But long behold, y'all, long behold, let's wipe our freaking eyes. You know what I'm saying? Now slap ourselves from the left and the right and wake up. Joshua, look, you are not, your mind ain't playing tricks on you. Joshua gets destroyed by Dubois. Daniel Dubois, the current reigning defending IBF world champion in the heavyweight division, flatlines Joshua. And all Eddie Hearns immediately doing is like, it's a perfect time to make the Fury fight. That's the massive, the process is perfect, the massive. I'm saying, am I seeing what everybody else just seen? I just seen Joshua get flatlined. And then I seen Tyson Fury take a second loss to Oleksandr Usyk recently. But yet Eddie Hearns is saying this is a massive fight in Wembley. 90,000, yeah? 90,000? Do you know what the process is? 90,000 Wembley. Fury Joshua. But as I read that article though, on Boxing News 24, when I read the article that spoke about how Fury was over the hill, it's the same can be said for Joshua. Joshua can be considered over the hill, but since he has a mouthpiece like Eddie Hearn that has properly manufactured his career and chaperoned him through his travels, he is still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Let me read an article that has just been published. Joshua versus Fury, Battle of Britain still a priority for AJ. Now, AJ has the opportunity. It ain't like he's fought in the U.S., y'all, right? Numerous of times. He came over here. He said, "Ooh, I don't like the way this smells and looks and feels. They don't kiss my ass over here in the U.S. And that bloody doesn't like his rubbish." Look, Joshua came over here and got disrespected by Jarrell Miller, some fierce. Unfortunate for Miller, man, he tested positive for a bulk of chemicals that was on the banned substance list in boxing. So he gets Andy Ruiz, and we all know the outcome. But now they're trying to say, I want to hit the British people in Wembley Stadium to come out and witness Fury and Joshua, and we're going to pay them millions. Woo! Hey, just take a moment and let that soak in for you. What if we were so forgiving, commandeering over in the U.S. when we see a fighter go through what AJ has done and Fury, and then say they're coming back to headline a fight in Vegas? You know what I'm saying? They're going to one of the largest arenas, and we can't wait for them to fight. This is them coming off losses now, but Eddie Hearn is saying he's gonna take them back to Wembley in front of 90,000. How many times are they gonna stump on that shit? I mean, they have really stepped on that shit, bro. How much you think they done stepped on that shit? And what's the going price in the streets? God damn it. They done stepped on that shit. Some crazy. And then, I mean, the high doesn't even last, bro. Let me start reading this shit. Anthony Joshua say his focus is on getting a fight against Tyson Fury in 2025. Joshua 28-4. 25 hosted KOs, want to make the mega fight against the recently beaten former WBC heavyweight champion, 34-2-1, 24 hosted knockout soon. Fury 36 has been lying low since his unified champion Alexander Usyk on December 21st in Riyadh. And he no doubt is wondering what went wrong this time for him to get beaten for the second time. He looked like he didn't have any anymore. His performance or lack thereof showed why it's important to get the Battle of Britain fight against Joshua made ASAP. Some believe that Fury could announce his retirement, and they're on our watch, waiting for a tearful speech from him. Joshua needs to increase the pressure on Fury to cheer him up and motivate him to stay on, because he may do something impulsive. He retired once, only to come back. 2025, I am targeting Tyson Fury, said Anthony Joshua to Sky Sports News. He needs some cheering from Joshua and others right about now, to make him think he did better than he actually did. AJ has more reasons to retire than Fury, because he is blown apart. He was blown apart by the IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois in the 5th round knockout loss on September 21st in front of over 90,000 plus fans at Wembley Stadium in London. That was a complete mismatch. with Joshua being dropped 4 times. You heard it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 1. You get the picture. 4 times. 4 times. Daniel Dubois had his coming out moment. He had the D on his chest. That night, he proved that he can put behind all the chatter about him being a quitter. The way the high energy that his father has, I'm pretty sure him and his pops had a talk. I'm pretty sure him, his father, and his sister had a talk. I'm pretty sure when people are calling you quitter out there, it sits with you the wrong way. Absolutely. That is something that you don't want to carry around like a backpack. You know what I'm saying? Every day that you're a quitter. I'm a quitter, you a quitter. No, I'm not. That's pretty crazy. But he went on to beat Miller, Herkovic, and destroyed Joshua, who was knocked down 4 times and finished in the 5th round. But yet they're talking about bringing him back with Tyson Fury to Wembley. William, look, I'm gonna be honest. Wembley is coming off as if it's a Salvation Army. Seriously, because some of the fights is almost like they donated to Wembley. Like Wembley, not the O2 Arena. The O2 Arena is just like a step cousin. You know what I'm saying? No one really gives it the height that it needs, like it's a part of the family, yo. But when Wembley comes up, oh my effing goodness. 90,000 will grace the stage to see Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury. 90,000 bombing their seats. A spectacle like you've never seen before. Oh man, they hype up Wembley like it's just been built. Every time. I remember back in the Wilder Joshua debates, how them lies was circulating. Joshua has sold out Wembley several times. No. I was one of the first to remind them that his first opponent, Jeff Legg, no one knew of him. He didn't have a leg up on the competition, just his name. But they was hyping up Anthony Joshua fighting Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley. And I say, so you're trying to convince me that Joshua was a bigger name over Klitschko? And that's a lie. You was able to sell out Wembley with confidence because your dance partner was one half of 2 boxing Hall of Famers. The Klitschko brothers. Joshua's status at the point in time wasn't high enough for people to just say, yeah, it was strictly based off Joshua. His imposing figure. It wasn't like that. It goes on to say Joshua had never been knocked out like that before. You could see that Dubois was too strong, young, and out of his league talent-wise. However, it would be the same if Dubois fought Fury. He might be even easier because his punch resistance is gone, and he will have nothing to hold Dubois off for an instant. Quote, makes me hungry, makes me want to work harder. The time is of the essence. Time is limited, so I just want to put in more work, said Joshua about his loss to Daniel Dubois on September 21st. When I look back, I believe I could have done more in 2024. I have another chance in 25 to do more, and I am going to make sure I take every opportunity that comes my way. I should have won, but I didn't, and I'm going to go again, said Joshua. Listen, bro, you want to clap it up for Joshua because his memory span, his short-term memory loss is absolutely superb. This dude wants to just wipe it clean. Yes, I'm calling for the IT specialist. Yes, can you wipe my server? Yeah, my mental server. Yeah, just wipe it clean. Some things on there that I'm not proud of at the moment. I was dropped 4 times against Dubois, and he stopped me in the 5th round. I just want to wipe that from my memory. And then when you do a reconfiguration, can you please put some just download some positive information, as if I'm on a winning streak or something like that, a 25 fight winning streak at that. Yeah, I want to feel good about myself. Okay, because I have an article coming up. I mean, an interview coming up. So I want to talk good about myself as if I never lost. Okay, that's what I want. I don't want any residue of that guy. They say, no problem, AJ. We got you. AJ is on a positive note. You remember how distraught he was when he lost to Alexander Usyk? How he was throwing shit out the ring and furious. Somebody need to thank Anthony Joshua's therapist, because goddamn it, this dude is speaking positive. He's like, hey, I could have done more in 24, but I'm still alive in 25, and I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to make sure I take every opportunity that comes my way. I should have won, but I didn't, and I am going to do it again, said Joshua. So Joshua's saying he's going to ignore the fact that karma was still 10 toes on both of his shoulders. That bullshit for 20 million that you pulled against Francis Ngannou hung around your ass. Oh yeah, that bullshit that you pulled off with Otto Wallin, it hung around, goddammit. Karma was up there dancing. And do the two-step, do the two-step. Hey, that shit, Karma was dancing on motherfucking Joshua's shoulders. It sure was. Seriously. He go out there and knock out Francis Ngannou, who received the orders for 20 million, and walks around like mentally now, you're going to be satisfied knowing that he took a dive. Like you didn't even exert your natural gifted ability to see can you beat Francis Ngannou, who went the distance with Fury the fight before. I know people are going to feel some type of way. It's expected. But for me, no one asked for this Joshua Tyson Fury fight. People talking about how Fury looked against Usyk and his punch resistance is gone. Some of the same shit they say about Wilder. Just less abrasiveness, right? So I look at it like, if anyone can pull this off, and we're talking about real human beings now, it would be Eddie Hearns. Because I guess the Brit fans, their respect and support for Anthony Joshua is beyond limits that I can relate to, especially over here in the U.S. because, you know, over here, they so quick to freaking crucify your ass. 1 minute you in their good grace and they're praising the shit out of you on the media, talking very, very delightful and complimentary. And then you go out there and have a bad performance. And then they start bringing in the car wash, the suds, the brush. They start taking you through the washer. Oh man, he's washed. Send him through one last time and bring him, get him about his way, man. He's washed. He's done. You see how many times he got hit with the same punch? Oh my God, he's over the hill. But he's only 25 years. Oh man, I don't care, man. He'd be 30 and he'd barely be able to complete a sentence. Get him out of here. Slurred speech, everything, man. His faculties aren't there. Get him out of here, goddammit. Send him on. He's no use to us now. I loved it when he was competitive at the top of his game. But no, not anymore. I'm serious. That's how we do over here in the U.S. But if the UK or the Brit boxing fans rock with Joshua heavy enough to basically sell out Wembley, that's amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that's amazing, bro. I mean, like, I have always considered Joshua to be one of the most overrated heavyweights in the game, and as many times he has proven me right, there's still enamored, vicarious having boxing fans that look at him as their king, their God, their savior, their Lord. Every time I bring that up, that him being overrated. Oh, you just hate it because Wilder didn't get it done. He did get it done. He was champion. He got it done for 43 victories. Way more than Joshua. Joshua may have the gold medal in his collective cachet of accolades, but what I can tell you is that Deontay Wilder combined title defenses comparable to Anthony Joshua combined, Wilder still exceeds. And then you have to ask yourself, when it comes to the Dillian Whites, Dominic Brazils, Alexander Povetkin's, Carlos Takams, I will admit that Joshua has a pretty decent resume, okay? Not to mention the Klitschko. Who would I to be mentioning all those names without inserting Klitschko into the combo? Because people just go crazy when they want to bring in Wembley Stadium and Klitschko. They feel like you're just disrespecting. And then, the article that I read earlier, it was like, over the hill Klitschko. He got it. He understands it. But if Combat says it, right? It's like, man, you just hating on him. I say, but Boxing News 24, I mean, whoever that was, they said the same thing. And then this guy over here said the same thing. And that guy over there. But that's all I'm gonna say. I gotta get to the next topic. I want to take you down the Crawford timeline, the Canelo Alvarez and Crawford timeline. Okay. Let me take this down. Can't believe I did that. Had him up there all that time. And shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I know those of you in the chat, it's on a Friday. You want to run away because you about to understand this hot grease is always. When Crawford's name come up for a fight, you know my creativity starts to spawn out of control. Let's talk about a timeline dealing with Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford. A year plus ago, right? Two boxing titans that hold all the gold in their respective divisions. This is an old article now. This article goes back to 2023. Okay? Now stay with me, be patient, god damn it. We're gonna ride from one station to the next, man. Just chill. It said there are two boxing titans that hold all the gold in their respective divisions, but a matchup between them has always looked impossible. However, if recent events are anything to go by, a mega fight between undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and undisputed welterweight champion Terrence Crawford might be moved from the fantasy fight section into reality. Canelo outpointed super welterweight champion Jermell Charlo, while Crawford destroyed Errol Spence Jr. in a long-awaited super fight. As a result, both fighters are in high demand, with fans and media hyping up a potential showdown between them. Now, whoever was writing this article understands it. They get it. They're locked in. They're buckled up. Very open-minded. Long-range game when it comes to thinking ahead, proactive. This person got it right. We're talking about Canelo Alvarez obviously being a super middleweight king, and Terrence Bud Crawford at that time being the welterweight king, right? And with everything that was said to the lead up where Errol Spence kept on calling out, Canelo Alvarez and all the support that he had to call out Canelo from 147 all the way up when we was waiting for Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. But yet Errol Spence was calling out Canelo Alvarez. Very little held him accountable for the bullshit. All they was jumping, clapping, cheering and shit for Errol Spence to get that Canelo fight. But lo and behold, after that massacre with Crawford, Their tone change. Let's go down a timeline and refresh your memory. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford timeline. May 6, 2023. Canelo Alvarez returns from wrist surgery to outpoint John Ryder and retain his status as undisputed super middleweight champion. June 23rd, 2023. Canelo signs a 3-fight deal with Premier Boxing Champions. Oh my God. Did I say Premier Boxing Champions? Ooh, I know them aerosexuals perked up, butt cheeks tightened, and goddamn it, they was like, Did somebody say PBC? Is Errol Spence Fundora made yet? No, it's just Combat. Combat just up here talking about a timeline. Oh God, not him again. He's not talking about the massacre, is he? Yeah, he did mention. Oh my God, I'm going back in the bunker. July 29th, 2023. Terence Crawford defeats Errol Spence Jr. My bad, y'all. When I heard July 29, 2023, I started to sway to the left and sway to the right. I remember the day. I do. I don't look, I don't try to ad lib and be all theatrical about this shit, but I just heard the date. Let me move on. Terence Crawford defeated Errol Spence to become an undisputed welterweight champ. In a dominant outing, Crawford floors Spence multiple times and closes the show in the 9th round. Following the fight, future matchups for Bud ranged from a Spence rematch to a showdown with Canelo. August 4th, 2023. When asked by TMZ about a fight with Canelo, Crawford simply states, "No, not at all. Canelo really don't interest me because of the size factor." Boy, when Crawford said that, the haters, creators, and the casual fakers, they were so happy. Oh, he ducked, Crawford ducked, he ducked Canelo. How can he duck? And Canelo has never, been on record as accepting the call out. But when Crawford said that, man, they say he was running, yo. They say he didn't want the fight. Crawford now came to his senses. He can't go up there and fuck with Canelo. It's weight classes for a reason. August 9th, 2023. A fight between Canelo and Jermell Charlo is made official. I'm going to be honest, y'all, one of the most wasted announcements of promotional history. Y'all know I'm not lying. August 10th, 2023. Crawford appears on the Breakfast Club and states that he would be open to a catchweight fight with Canelo. "We can do something at a catchweight," Crawford said via the Zone. Probably 160 pounds or something. 158. Yeah, 158, 160. That would be cool. August 15th, 2023. Canelo rejects the idea of facing Crawford at a catchweight of 160 or 158. He also tells the Breakfast Club that Crawford is too small to fight at 168. Now, this has been the crutch of all crutches when it comes to these broke down Crawford haters. I swear to God, boy, they be around there walking with them crutches and them goddamn them canes, them custom canes that they have, because they done spent so much time hating on Crawford. A lot of them are bent over right now, broken down from the stress. When Canelo put this word out there, yo, and he rejected Crawford at a catchweight, did you notice they didn't have the same energy when Jermell Charlo was up here bitching and crying? You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the same energy, did they?
Wish I could be the guy to fight Canelo. Canelo, come to 158.
Y'all remember? Y'all remember when he was up there? They didn't have the same energy, did they? Real talk. But Jermell Charlo ended up getting a fight at 168. But when this news came August 15, 2023, Canelo rejected the idea of facing Crawford at a catch weight. And if the fight was going to happen in 168, Canelo said he was too small. Moving on, August 18, 2023. On an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford aims for the winner of Canelo vs. Charlo. Once again, August 18, 2023. On the episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford aims for the winner of Canelo vs. Charlo. Crawford aims for the winner. Either or. Charlo's in the equation, Canelo's in the equation. The tails of the two seas are on deck. In quote, it says, "It's greatness. This is my era, and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me," Crawford said. "Now that I've switched gears, I know I wanted to fight Jermell. But if he loses to Canelo, I've always said that's a big step. That's a big step. But for a person to go up 3 weight divisions from 147 to 168 to win and become undisputed, wow, what can they say?" August 28, 2023, following Crawford's vow to move from welterweight to super middleweight, Canelo, who has also moved through several weight classes, offered his opinions on the matchup. Quote, "Look, I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter. I always say that. No disrespect to him," Alvarez told Boxing Scene. "But you know, sometimes it's a little crazy. The people talking about how I'm going to face too small of a fighter like the 154-pound Charlo, which he's big at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Everybody is talking about if I'm going to face Crawford, a fighter at 147 pounds, who is smaller than Charlo. So it does not make sense when you guys say right now. I don't understand. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, no matter what. But you never know. You never know in boxing. I will go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible. If it makes sense, I am down to do it. I don't care who is there. I am always able to fight everybody." That's Canelo, y'all. That's Canelo. That's Canelo. That's why I keep on asking, why is it so difficult? It's just all about the money now? Seriously, it's all about the money? Let me put that up there for you all in case you select to hold Canelo accountable for his words. Let me put this up there for you for the playback game. Here we go. Just look at the second para. You know, read that. Canelo said, "But you never know. You never know in boxing. I will go up and down and fight everybody out there." All right? I just want you to see it for yourself. And you can screenshot it on the playback game. But that's Canelo Alvarez. August 28, 2023. Moving on, September 30th, 2023. This is after the T-Mobile massacre. Canelo Alvarez battered Jermell Charlo for 12 rounds to retain his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion. Canelo celebrated his win over Charlo at the post-fight conference, the press conference. When asked about facing Crawford next, Canelo said via Sky Sports, "If the fight makes sense, go ahead. But right now, the fight with Terrence Crawford doesn't make sense. I just won. Let me enjoy this." So he said, if the fight makes sense. right? That's what he said. If the fight makes sense. Canelo has been on the record to pretty much entertain a possible match with Bud Crawford. But of course, with Canelo, he wants the money to be right in his favor. But there you go right there, September 30th, 2023. Canelo celebrated his win over Charlo at the post-fight press conference. You can hit it on the playback game. You know what I'm saying? But that's where you at with it. You know? But this is where I see Canelo. If you fought Charlo, who Terrence Crawford called out, then guess what? You have enough time to fight Crawford, especially on Cinco de Crawford. Everybody who's a true boxing fan, if you ask them, which fight would you like to see on Cinco de Crawford? William Skull or Terrence Bud Crawford? Terrence Bud Crawford, William Skull, which one? I guarantee you it's not going to be no hesitation. They're going to say, man, come on, stop playing, dog. Stop it. Stop playing, dog. What you do? You went bungee jumping and you found out the shit was too long and you still got a head injury. What? CTE is fucking with you? I mean, come on, man. Who that guy you say? Who that guy? I know not. No William Skull. Who know who they? I know Sarah Amigo who he. I don't know. They're gonna say Terrence Bud Crawford immediately. So Canelo, you have to placate his freaking demands with the money. Because for a man to say someone's too small, come on, Canelo, you went in there and fought Bivol, who was in the higher weight class. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Stop it. You went and fought Dimitri Bivol at a higher weight class and took your second loss. And you're going to now complain about Crawford being too small? I thought, based off the experience that you had with facing a bigger fighter, that you understand that Bivol allowed you the opportunity as a smaller fighter to step up and face him. So why wouldn't you take that same consideration and allot the opportunity to Terrence Bud Crawford and show the people that he was too small to step up there and face you? Why? Why the defenses? Why all the security measures? Why are you so eager to reject, deny when it comes to Crawford? Is it because Canelo understands the level of threat? Is it? I just want to know, is it the level of threat? If you want to be petty, if I want to be petty, I can go back to when he took his first loss. Canelo weighed more than Floyd. Did the fight not happen? Canelo weighed more than Floyd Mayweather when they fought. Did the fight not happen? The fight absolutely happened. So why is he so hesitant to step up and just commit to say, okay, I'm going to fight Crawford? Now, I know Crawford has put tweets out. You know, he's been on record and he put some tweets out there and everything. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I do. I get it. But we just need a little bit more to go off of when it comes to this fight in general. Because we've been through the carnival show of false clickbait ass information that's out there with the Crawford Spence shit. With this, we're not trying to go back and forth. We're not. It's just, man, we ain't trying to go through that again. But I will present you with this right here. All right? When it comes down to it. Terrence Crawford said, 2025, I will show the world once again how great I am. God damn it. Does that really need some instruments? Do we need to bring the drums? Or should we just stick to the cellos? Oh, we should just stick to the cellos. Bring in the harmonica and flutes, please. Oh, beautiful. Just amazing. Soft, elegant music. He said 2025, I will show the world once again how great I am. Do you believe that Crawford's speaking of Canelo Alvarez? Who will he step in there with? Because Jermell Charlo hasn't batted a lash to let the boxing fans know that he wants that Crawford smoke. He just want to come out with a video beating up a bag that's saying, the king? You're talking about a guy who don't have any of his belts remaining? I mean, do you hear Crawford talking about he's the king at 147? No, he's the current reigning champion at 154. Errol Spence is still his bosom buddy, so he's not talking about Fundora. But yet, people keep on talking about Crawford shouldn't get the Canelo fight because he's too small. So why isn't Jermell Charlo calling out Crawford? Crawford called out Jermell and he called out Canelo. What's so difficult about one of them answering the call? You cannot continue to say that Crawford is small and you don't know why he's calling out Canelo. I mean, it comes to a point where if the size isn't going to hold the weight once he splits the ropes with Canelo, then we should see it all play out in front of us, right? I mean, come on, make the fight. If the dude is, look, Canelo sounds super duper delirious right now, being that Crawford does hold weight when it comes to his accolades. We have to switch it up with a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, metaphors and shit. If you really look at it, Crawford does hold weight. His weight is more so adequately distributed when we talk about his accolades. We're not talking about what the scales say. That's just a component that's traditional in the sport of boxing. All right, you gotta go to the weigh-in, dog. You gotta go to the weigh. Yes, the allowable limit. Yeah, you gotta go in there and make weight. But check this out. The weight on how Crawford measures up with Canelo is through their achievements. When you look at their cachet of awards and medals and everything that they've been able to accomplish, that's where both of these fighters measure equality when it comes to should they fight each other. That's when the shit equals up. That's when it levels up. You can't continue to talk about physical pounds, bro. You're unwilling to be open-minded. Crawford is absolutely on weight when it comes to Canelo Alvarez with his accolades. Now, people always gonna try to sit up here and say, well, he ain't fought nobody. Well, goddamn it, how many fights do you have to have in Mexico? Let's extract all the soft ghost gloving opponents that Canelo has on his. Yeah, I said it. No one will ever use that term, has never used that term ghost gloving but me. You know what ghost gloving is? Opponents that you'll never see or hear of again. How many ghost gloving opposition did Canelo have from Mexico? He has over 30 fights in Mexico, bro. Just like his countryman, Jaime Munguia. So when you say Crawford ain't fought nobody out of 41 victories, okay, that's common language in the sport of boxing. But let's talk about ghost gloving Canelo Alvarez. Take away all those fights that nobody knows. I mean, does that kind of balances out too? Does the buoyancy get a little bit better? I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to say they absolutely on weight when it comes to the accolades. Canelo is selecting if he chooses, just like he did with David Benavidez's belt. If he selects to pretty much fight William Skull and instead of Cinco de Crawford? That's just him trying to say, hey, I'm gonna take the easy way and I'm gonna come 2-time undisputed at 168. Okay, cool. But my request is to all his fans is, do you respect that? Like Crawford didn't do it. Just imagine if Crawford would have went and retired Boots Ennis and became 3 times undisputed, 2-time undisputed at 147. Do you think the fight fans would know how to spell respect? They wouldn't give him no motherfucking glory if he was to go fight Ennis and get his belt back that the IBF stripped from him. They would say, oh yeah, but he never beat nobody in the ring. Ennis stole the belt and Crawford wouldn't beat him. Come on, man. He don't get any credit for that. But let Canelo go over here and fight William Skull. I guess we're going to have another parade. William Skull, Terrence Crawford, the shit don't add up. Except if Canelo wants to get on weight with Crawford. Maybe he wants to be 2-time undisputed like Crawford. I mean, Crawford was the first fighter to do it in his forebear era. I mean, congratulations to the Omaha Monster. You were the first to do it. And I remember Crawford being on a short list of 4-belt era undisputed fighters at one time. I mean, the only other 2 individuals was in the same weight division. Crawford was the long fighter that was on there with those 2 individuals. And then here come everybody else saying, you know what? I see what that Crawford's done. I like it. 4-belt era undisputed. He beat Julius and Dongo here. I like it. I'm gonna come undisputed. And that's where everybody else started coming. And look, I'm not knocking them for shit. But Crawford was on there when it was a very short roster. I mean, very, very short roster of names in the 4-belt era that was undisputed. And lo and behold, when the starlight, when everything started to align and we found out we was getting an eclipse July 29th, that's when it was time for the reckoning to happen. Once again, led by who? The front runner Terrence Bud Crawford goes in there and get it done. So if Canelo chooses to fight William Skull again and become 2-time undisputed, I'm not going to feel no type of way about it. Because anything that deals with Canelo, man, people are just going to overlook it. Like, I mean, if it's something to praise, yeah, they're going to give him mad praise and plaudits, right? But then when it comes to the adulation for Crawford doing something like that, it's always going to get the basic or whatever. Because, he's one of those names that's not going to be truly appreciated and adorned until he's retired. But Canelo, if he becomes 2-time undisputed by fighting a nigga named Skull, so be it. All I'm concerned about is this right here. I want the Canelo fans to promote and elevate their voices, since they always saying that Crawford's too small, Crawford's too small. You up here was hyping the shit out of Canelo to fight Bivol when that fight was announced. He's going to do this. He's already been up there before. He has Sergey Kovalev. He had no problem going up there beating Bivol. He already been up there 175, and then he gets classed. He gets damn near classed like Floyd Mayweather. And what do the Canelo fans say? Hey, man, he was just trying to be great, man. You need to stop hating. He's great. That's Canelo. Canelo the Great. I get it. But even in that, situation, he lost. So you fought a bigger fighter, which Bivol fought a smaller fighter. You lost the fight. So give Crawford his opportunity to so-called go in there with Canelo, who isn't that much bigger than Crawford. You have to understand when fighters walk around with their walk around weight in between fights. I mean, Canelo is not that big of a fighter like people think. Like, come on, bro. He's not this huge Tyson-esque, imposing figure in there. He's Canelo Alvarez. He made do after the ass whooping Floyd gave him. He has definitely made improvements. And look, I think that's why, it was crazy that we're going through the shit with Bud right now, because there was a lot of Mexican fight fans that was coming and paying Floyd's salary just to see him lose. And Floyd kept fighting Mexican fighters over and over and over again. I'm going to show you how great I am. I mean, come on, Floyd kept on knocking them down, yo. He had the Mexican fight fans semi-supporting him, but hating him at the same time. And man, don't you know when Floyd was set to retire, man, the fight fans were so happy because now the takeover was Canelo Alvarez. They didn't see nobody else being able to beat him. And for a long-standing calendar moons, Canelo reigned. Real. For a good extensive amount of time, Canelo reigned. He would have a short rivalry of 3 fights with Gennady Golovkin, but besides that, really nobody he had a rivalry with. And yes, he did step up to the challenge to do something again at 175. I can't knock him for that. But like I told the fans, I wish he would have went up there and fought Makabu. Makabu, yes, he was a no name, but is he so much of a no name than William Skull? At least Makabu would have gave you your 5th division. William Skull is just going to return a belt that the IBF stripped from you. That's all. That's all. So either way, whether it would have been Makabu or William Skull, when the fight fans look back at your career when you retire, Canelo, they're going to look at your 5th division. They're going to always remember, oh, that was Makabu? Oh, okay. 5 divisions, huh? Oh, undisputed? Wow. But Canelo, he doesn't want to face Crawford, and Crawford earns his 5th division, and he snatches whatever remaining promise, legacy, the idolatry, the throne. He removes all sense to the hierarchy. If Terrence Crawford snatches all that shit away from Canelo Alvarez and become a 5th division world champion with a Canelo Alvarez greened up as number 42 on Cinco de Crawford, it's going to shake up boxing, bro. Forever. Forever. Forever? Forever, ever? Forever, ever? Yes, forever. Forever. And that's one of the reasons why Canelo is very optimistic about committing to this fight. He want to talk about size, but Combat just told you the size of their resumes is what matters. I can see if Crawford was William Skull and he just had a belt, but that's not the case. Even in the Twilight Zone, Crawford couldn't be William Skull. So I'm saying, if you want to balance the scales of achievement, goddammit, Crawford is on weight. Now, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Continue to talk about weight? Physical weight, oh man. What do I get? He's too small. He's too small. Show us. That's all. Show us he's too small, goddammit. We don't want to keep on hearing the same, but show us he's too small. Show us. That's all we want you to do, there, Canelo. Show us this man is too small. Show us that Crawford doesn't belong in the ring with you. Show us, bro. Show us. That's all I'm saying. Show us. Shout out to the Strays. I gotta show love to the Strays. I see they nibbling on that goddamn them doo-doo crumbs I left out there. I went to a dog park and grabbed some doo-doo crumbs and put them out there on the trail. I see they over here because they must have liked the taste. I saw some with some old corn and blueberries in there. He said, disagree. Crawford doesn't deserve to fight. He just wants the payday. Well, you know, if you're a fool and you're fighting for free, then obviously you haven't really read the Ali Act, nor are you in the sport of boxing for good reasons. Of course, it's a payday for both fighters. And for you not to understand what boxing is all about, you would remember that Canelo, the one who put the high price tag for him to step in there and fight Crawford, right? So why would you be over here talking about he just want a payday when Canelo is talking about size, he's too small, but yet he won 150 million? Come on, which one is it? Is it crack or meth? Which one are you smoking? Real talk, which one? You need to tell your dealer, hey, this shit is hitting me too hard. I'm going on this motherfucking chat making a fool of myself. Step on it some more before you give me that shit. God damn, nigga was leaned all the way back. I couldn't fucking stand up. I thought I was in Oakland. I thought I was in San Francisco, man, in Zombieland. Of course he wants a payday. And so does Canelo because he requested 150 million. Come on, bro. I'm not going to, look, if I see you trolling, I'm not going to give you the time of day, dog. And plus, you ain't dropping no super chat over here. You're not supporting the channel. You just want attention. I haven't mentioned anything about Crawford facing Spence. I have not. That's a non-factor. That's a non-factor. That's a non-factor. Canelo fangirls happy he's ducking Bud. They absolutely elated, aren't they? I mean, cheerful mates. I mean, you ever seen a group of cheerful mates just cheering? He's too small. He's too small. Poquito. Poquito. I mean, come on, bro. Now all of a sudden, we're talking size. Is Sugar Ray when he fought Donnie Lanon? Donnie the Blonde Lanon. Were they talking about, oh man, Donnie shouldn't fight Sugar Ray? When Sugar Ray was on the canvas from the bigger Lanon, where were you cats at? Were you up there? Oh man, Sugar Ray fucked up. That's what I told him. No, you wasn't. Those of you that was there, it's like, oh man, come on, Sugar Ray. You can do it. You can do it. And then Sugar Ray came back and stopped them. But yet, I guess that was for the ones who was back there, the OGs that was watching boxing back then, or the ones that have submitted their inquiry into the search engine to do a little film study and boxing, you know what I'm saying, conversations with other like-minded individuals. I guess you're not doing that. Because that was a hell of a fight when you talk about size disparities. Sugar Ray had a size disadvantage against Donnie. And Donnie was giving Sugar Ray the business. So how dare you accept what Canelo is saying, and you want to call him all the greats, but when the greats was up here like Sugar Ray Leonard fighting Donnie Lanon, I mean, come on. People was cheering both ways. It's like, God damn, you see how big Donnie is comparable to Sugar Ray? You see how Sugar Ray came back, broke him down, and stopped him? But yet we in 2024. People whining, bitching, and complaining, right? And then they bring that trash residue over to 25. And to be honest, man, what does Crawford did? What has Canelo done? Is Canelo undisputed in 2 divisions? If it's easy, then everybody would do it. Don't say, oh, Crawford ain't fought nobody. Hey, is Canelo undisputed in 2 divisions now? Why he didn't unify the 160-pound division for undisputed? Why? Was he undisputed? He had the opportunity to face Gennady Golovkin and really stay there, but Canelo Alvarez, petitioned for the franchise belt. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. I hate continue to bring up receipts, but let's not forget Crawford has never been a franchise champion. But when Jamal Charlo was sitting over there at that WBC, goddamn good old Canelo petitioned Mauricio Suleiman. Mauricio, I request that you grant me the first ever franchise belt. I feel within my own right to separate my duties from facing that guy from Texas. I don't even know his name, Charlo. He's my mandatory. Gritty fella. Gritty fella. But I don't want to face him, Mauricio. So is there anything you can implement a belt that I don't have to face my mandatories? You can. Oh, let me know. Send me an email. Text me. He became the first franchise champion. I mean, do you want me to continue? I mean, is this shit making sense to y'all? Canelo did not unify the 160-pound division, and he petitioned to become the first franchise champion. Clap it the F up, yo. What a legitimate, I'm talking about, wow. One of the best kings ever. Man, how he wear those crowns. This man requested to become the franchise champion at 160. Why he didn't unify? I bet that shit biting him in the motherfucking ass, boy, like a goddamn barracuda. Why he didn't unify 160 pounds? It was there for the taking. Crawford was the first male fighter in the four-belt era to freaking unify undisputed in two divisions. Why Canelo didn't do it first? He was a cash cow. He was making all the millions, but he requested the franchise belt. Unbelievable. Pardon me, my throat was parched. Had to sip on some cold agua. Excuse me. I know the room has somehow became tense because I was dropping the franchise receipt. Why did your king, your God, your savior, your Lord become franchise champion? Why didn't he unify the entire 160 pounds? So now when he went to 168, Canelo potentially, possibly, could have became the first in the four-belt era to be two division undisputed. So Crawford would have been chasing him for that accolade. But yet, let's clearly get back to it. Once again, Crawford leading from the front. Once again, he's leading from the front. Yeah, man. Shout out to C. Wood in the building. French fry champ. That's what they call T.O., right? This man was the first franchise champion, y'all. This man refused to unify for undisputed at 160, which could have potentially put him as the front runner to be the first male boxer ever to become two division undisputed. But he ran away from Charlo. I'm just here to state what the facts are in history. And that is one of the facts. He was the first franchise champion, then came Lomachenko, and then the rest. You know what it is. Why didn't he stay there? You know what I'm saying? He had the first one to draw. He beat Gennady in the second one. Why didn't you stay there and try to become undisputed? You didn't care? You was following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. Too difficult to make weight. You blew it. And now you're acting like you feel some type of way about Crawford who did? People, understand what I'm telling you. Crawford is on weight with the only scale that fucking matter, and that is accolades. If you continue to talk about physical pounds, you are less than a temporary boxing fan. You shouldn't be allowed to speak. You're just up here wanting to be a part of a gossip session, and you want to denounce any type of pluses or pros that Crawford has to justify him fighting Canelo. You just want to kill, oh, he's too small. He's too small. He ain't fought nobody. No, that's over. That shit went away when he thrashed Errol Spence. Because Errol and Derrick James was saying the same shit. And not to mention their gullible fan base here on the YouTube Central. Y'all was absolutely saying the same shit. Y'all was playing the same instrument. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. Nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. Fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. Fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. That's all you heard. Or who is he fought? Who is he fought? Who is he fought? Ask yourself, who is he fought? Tell me now. Tell me then. Who is he fought? I mean, goddamn. He ain't fought nobody. Who is he fought? That's not the case with Canelo. Y'all have to hold him accountable sometime or another. But you won't even hold yourself accountable. The only scale that matters is the accolades. And that shit right there balances out well. We're talking about 41 victories, yo. Canelo has over 65 professional fights. At this point in time, if Crawford's too small, shouldn't you show the world how great you are? You should show the world that he's too small. But somehow, some way, your lens keep getting foggy. When you at home riding them big ass fucking stallions, somehow you becoming intoxicated off your own ego. I think, real talk, I think Canelo just don't want to see that picture. He don't want that steel frame to be out there with Crawford goddamn in the post fight with Canelo belts around him. And then they have to ask you, well, I want to hear Jim Gray. Well, Canelo, this has been a fight that so many people have talked about. Now that you have finally faced Terrence Bud Crawford, what do you have to say? I mean, what stood out most to you about a fighter that you said at one point in time that was too small, and finally you all was able to make the fight? What do you remember most about this moment? Well, to be honest, Jim, he was better than I thought, Jim. I mean, always respected Terrence. He was better than I thought. Yeah, I thought he was a little poquito. He's a little mijo. I thought he was a little kid. I thought. But he showed me his hands is big. His heart's bigger. And he's very smart, crafty, sly. I just, me and Eddie say, what's going on here? So now, yes, I took my third loss. They call me Mr. Thress. But I got to wait for the B sample. There's some things that was going on. No, Canelo. Don't do that. Crawford has always been a clean fighter. Don't talk about you got to wait for the B sample to come and something things that's going on in there when he pretty much was clean for the Spence fight, and what he did to you was somewhat similar to what he was doing to Spence. Were you kind of shocked why he was able to so easily, you know what I'm saying, execute his game plan against you? Talk to us. At this moment, I think, Jim, you're trying to be instigator. Yeah, you're trying to be an instigator. I don't like instigators. He won. That's it, man. You're trying to make me look foolish. Hey, man. Hey, Jim Gray will ask the questions, yo. For a long time, you said Crawford was too small. Now that you stepped in the ring with him and the results didn't work come out in your favor, what do you remember most about this? Oh man, the quirks. Yo, the quirks. You know what they say? I hope, Canelo is demure. When Jim Gray given that, hey, I hope he's demure. Please be demure when you're answering those questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't jump out of character and become irate and believe that Jim Gray is asking you questions that you don't want to answer. Anyway, I'm not going to take too much, of your time. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. I see you. What's good, man? I'm almost at an hour and a half. Salute to y'all, man. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Understand, we need for this fight to happen. Cinco de Crawford. That's what we want to see. Greatness. EP 421 2025, shawty. We want to see Crawford go in there and prove what we already know he's capable of. And that's going in there and once again defeating Canelo Alvarez and renaming him Mr. Tres. Yes, Mr. Tres. The uno dos tres. Yes, Crawford is number 3. He gave you a third loss. Yes. And look, we're not going to be too surprised once he go in there and get this work from Crawford. We're not going to be surprised. We're not going to be surprised. I'm just going to return back to the YouTube Central and I'm just going to listen. Just like I did with goddamn Spence loss. I'm just going to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to, hey, it's going to be good just putting the predictions with the actual results. And it's going to be so lovely. You know what I'm saying? I lived through two of the best matchups with one common name. I can say I did it. A lot of other people are too. They can say, damn, I was there when the T-Mobile massacre happened, and I was there for Cinco de Crawford. Damn, what a moment. Man, y'all hold it down, man. Till next time, continue to support